Welcome to Quantum Creators, where we believe you are the director of your reality. So why not make it a masterpiece? Hi, I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Kelly. And this episode is about our clothes can change our story. Not just how we look, but how we show up.
Okay.
All right? Because when your frequency shifts, the room shifts too.
I love that. So real frequency moments. So something happened this week. Actually, multiple things happened this week, so I kind of want to talk about that. People were stopping me, men, women, and even strangers, asking about what I was wearing. Well, I did have on 2 ties, so a bendable snake necklace wrapped around a silk tie. And what I realized is that I wasn't dressing to be clever. I was dressing because I was already 5 moves ahead. This wasn't fashion. This was strategy dressed in silk.
I love that. And it's not just her.
Yeah.
You guys, I used to wear more neutral tones like beiges and browns, and one day I decided to wear pink. Hot pink. Yes. And it not only sparked something in me and myself, but in other people. I noticed how people were responding differently to me and how I myself felt different. So then I moved on to red. And red is definitely my power color. I noticed that I felt like a different person wearing it. I felt more confident. My next colors to try out were gold and
my favorite. I love the gold, and the green is about money.
It was like I had walked into the future version of myself, and my cells started shifting. My voice changed. People listened differently. That's what frequency dressing does.
And I'm going to tell about another lady that came into the store. A client, she's been here before, bought a few things, but she loved my tulle skirt. I had a black tulle skirt with a pink jacket. And she goes, I always dress down for my job because that has been the accepted attire for that role. But that's not my personality. She said, I'm fun and outgoing and I love style with a flair and a pop of color. Her face lit up and she said, what do you think? Do you think, I could do something like that? I said, well, would this outfit be acceptable at your work? She goes, well, yeah. And then she realized that she could actually do that. So she looked at me and she said, I'm receiving what you're saying, and I'm going to give myself permission to go into the office and finally wear what makes me happy. She gave herself permission to rewrite the version of clothing the world wanted her to wear for that role to the style that she could now fully embody. The one that she had been hiding was going, bye-bye. Watch out, she's taking her power back, and I can't wait to see what she does next. That's what this is. It's about you writing your own story. It's not about trends. It's about truth in fabric.
And then segment 3, shift in the field. So let's talk about a man with the ties.
Oh,
all right.
That's very
the
interesting.
one who said, I used to be the boss, but I dressed for retirement. He didn't just see a look, he saw a way back into himself, back into being alive. That's what it does.
It does. It awakens something in you. His story really did intrigue me a lot, I will say, because there was something in what I had on that was awakening him, triggering him, something in him that he now saw differently. When he was in that role, he dressed casual because he was dressing for retirement. Now, I'm not sure if he's in retirement now or not, but it seems to me like maybe he is now wanting to write something different. And because of that, maybe in his new wardrobe, he's going to have a tie or 2.
And you said something the other day I haven't stopped thinking about. You said, this isn't fashion. This is strategy dressed in silk.
I did say that. Because it is. That's why I wore 2 ties the other day. Like I said, it wasn't about being clever. It was because I'm already 5 moves ahead. The blush jacket I had on, the softness, my patterns, it's all proof. And the outfit, it's the scene before the breakthrough. Because what you wear isn't superficial, it's actually spiritual. Your outfit is your frequency declaration. You don't need a resume, you need resonance. I am dressing for the role that I see myself in, and because I am in alignment with that, in speaking, in frequency, and in shifting rooms, it does it wherever I go. I don't even have to say a word.
Right.
That's the power behind it.
I love that. So there's something else you said that you said to
I
me.
say a lot.
Yeah, you do. That I've been thinking about as well. You said some people will get dressed up for a photo shoot and wear something that really speaks to them because they know they're only going to have to wear it for, a couple of hours or a few minutes. And so they're comfortable, enough to do that.
Yes.
However, you said, would they be brave enough to wear that to the office around their colleagues and even around their clients?
Yeah.
So it's definitely something to think about.
Yes, and a lot of people wouldn't, to be honest with you, because they're not confident enough to take it to that next level.
Sure.
But really, I've gotten to the point that if I want to wear it, I'm going to wear it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to wait for a special occasion to wear a dressy dress. And if I want to wear that bold top that says high fashion, then I'm going to wear it. I guess because I'm not in hiding anymore. And I can now show up as my true self in whatever outfit I want to wear.
I love that. And so now we have a challenge. This week we challenge you to wear the version of you who already arrived.
Don't just post it, wear it all day. To the grocery store, to the meeting, while you're cooking dinner. Let the world feel the shift. And if someone asks you what you're wearing, just say, it's not fashion. It's the future stitched in silk.
Oh, I love that.
I like that too.
So there was something you said earlier
Yes.
about, I wish I would have written it down. You were talking about how when you wore the difference in the ties and stuff like that, you not only like posted it and stuff, but you wore it to work and people were intrigued by you.
Very intrigued.
Okay. Well, how did it make you feel though? Because I feel like you're a very confident person anyway. You already don't really care what other people think about you. Was there anything that was kind of like, I don't know if I should wear this the first time you did it? Because you've been doing it for a little while now.
Yes, and there are certain things because I can go really bold. I mean, I can wear some weird stuff and people be like, she on drugs. What's up with her? You know what I mean?
Cocaine Kim.
But the first tie, you would normally feel,
Sure.
You'd be okay.
It's a tie.
It's a tie.
It's acceptable in
And it was a black tie.
society.
It was a black tie, and then I had on a pink blush, But then my skirt had circles like this.
Yeah.
Or was it squares?
No, I think it had like lines and
Like
stuff
it was
like that. I
checkered-
think you're.
checkered.
Yeah.
But it was black and white. So I had black and white, and then I don't even know what
Something
shirt I
else had
on.
another pattern in it as well. There were some.
It was the tie. One of
Okay.
the ties had stripes. So it was that same blush, and then it had black stripes.
Yeah.
So it's almost to me like there were codes in what I was wearing.
Now explain that. What do you mean by codes?
I don't. Okay. I felt like the patterns that I mixed together were unlocking things in people, like it's almost like they were asleep, maybe,
And it got their attention.
and it got their attention,
Okay.
and then they're like, "Wait a minute, there's
I can do that.
something." It wasn't really that. It was resonance. Something about what I had on was triggering something in them, waking them up. It was almost like it's like when you're driving to work and you don't even know how you got there because you're just going through the motions.
Yes.
And I was a disruption in the field because what I had on was disrupting what maybe if they were in their zone. You know what I'm saying?
Like the lady that you were talking about, how she said, I've got more of a personality and stuff, but she
Yes.
dresses down at work. And I feel like that's something you have spoken to on our previous episodes.
Yes.
You were that's something I've been thinking about this week too, is that you're talking about when we shrink ourselves
Yes.
to fit where
Yes.
we are because we
And that's what she did.
and she was doing that.
Yes,
But she was
absolutely.
actually repressing
Yes.
who she really is to
Yes.
try to fit into this. And like you said, it was a story she
Yes.
was writing for herself that she was never meant to write because that's not
it
her.
was, it was kind of written for her because people think if you are in a certain role that you should dress a certain way.
Right.
And just like people my age, they feel like they have to dress a certain
way.
way
Yeah.
because society has kind of
said this is how you're supposed to dress.
this is when you're that age, you shouldn't wear that. And I go, nah,
nay.
I'm going to wear what I want to. But in a way, we all have done that. I mean, I have shrunk
'Cause
myself
we want
to
to fit in.
But
Yes.
now I don't care about fitting in. That's the thing. That's the difference is that I want to embody my full self, my highest potential in me. And if I can get there through what I call frequency dressing, then and I can embody that, then I'm basically setting myself up for my next position or where I want to be.
I feel like that is about purpose. It's setting
strategy.
you up.
It is a
It's strategy to get you to your purpose, to fulfill whatever your purpose is. Because, like you said, society has made us feel like we need to do a certain thing or dress a certain way or go for a certain vocation or something like that because
it makes them comfortable.
It makes them comfortable.
And
it doesn't necessarily make you comfortable. It's not what
Exactly.
you were meant to do. And so the coding is unlocking. You've already unlocked something in yourself.
Exactly.
And so now it's unlocking things in other people, which is waking them up.
Yes.
So that they can live who they fully were meant to live to fulfill that purpose, that destiny that they have.
And I do feel like the clothes probably triggered something in me when I finally when I gave myself permission to wear them.
That permission, every time you say give yourself permission, I'm
Yeah.
like, yes, that's...
Well, it all kind of started, I mean, I've always had a certain way that I dress.
Sure.
But I would say probably as we've been on this journey together, with and we're doing the inner work and stuff.
Yeah.
That I now can come to a place where I've set boundaries for myself on certain things. But then when it comes to what makes me happy, why would I not wear that? Why do I care if you think I'm too old to wear it or not? Because I don't. I used to care. Honestly, I did.
Sure.
But I guess maybe I'm at that age now where...
See, I don't think it's an age thing.
Well, then it's a mindset.
I think it's a mindset.
Yeah.
I think you're at a place in your mind where you've done that inner work, and when you're at a place where you're comfortable with who you are and what you have to offer and stuff, it's like you can fully embody who you are and dress the way you want to. And not have to wait for that special occasion to wear that dress.
Exactly.
That dress, that beautiful
yeah.
dress is just going to hang in your closet. Why would you want to do that? Get it out and wear it.
I wear sequins to work.
Yes,
like
I love
this
that.
is summertime, and I do. And I mean, they always are like, okay, so I got something glowing on me,
Yeah.
But I like it because whatever that shimmer is shimmer something within myself.
Yeah.
And so, what I noticed the other day was and it was just that one day, like where I wore those two ties. It was like, do you have two ties on? I'm not trying to stare at you. I'm just trying to understand, do you have two ties on? I'm like, yes, I have two ties on. And did you intend on having two ties on? I go, not initially, but in the ending outfit, it was the extra frosting that I needed. And so, thinking about that, people are trying to figure out, did you have a strategy? What made you put that together?
I love that it opens communication between you and other people.
It does.
That it allows
sure.
them to approach you. You are approachable, you would think, wearing lots of different textures and colors and styles. It might kind of, fend some people off, but actually it's attracted people to you.
It does more, and all ages too. So I'm not talking, I'm talking like people in their 20s and all the way to people in their 80s. It's this wide range. Men and
Like
depending on what I'm wearing, but for some reason the tie combination
got the professional men.
The men that were almost like in retirement or not in that stage, that business stage
almost
of their
kind of
life.
that transition stage of their life, maybe.
Because the one guy, he asked me, he said, do you think that I could wear a tie like that with just a t-shirt? I said, why not?
Yeah.
I I said, that thought came in your head, so you must have thought about it at some point. So I would say, try it.
Yep. Didn't Tom Cruise do that in Risky Business?
Or is that where he slid across the floor?
Yes. I think I don't
remember.
think he had a tie on. It was just a collared shirt and stuff.
But he could have just had a tie and a t-shirt.
And
right?
that would have been just fine.
That
Yes.
would have been just fine. Because people would have been, that would have made him, stand out a little bit where people want to know something else about you. Like, they want to have that conversation with you because they want to try to understand, why they're seeing something that they normally don't see.
Mm-hmm.
And it was presented well.
Yeah.
It wasn't, trashy
Overdone
or overdone.
Yeah.
And it was balanced. I feel like it was, I was
Totally.
balancing the femininity and the masculinity.
Masculine.
You know what I
Mhm.
mean? The yin and the yang kind of thing.
Yes, and there's something about the different textures and patterns and stuff all going together. It's like the eye really enjoys that.
It does. I still think it's codes. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes mixing a stripe, with something like this,
Mm-hmm.
it goes if you can get the right combination.
Do it right.
then-
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Then it is like it's like a blueprint.
Okay.
Think
Tell me
about
more.
that. I don't know. It's almost like it's a new blueprint that people haven't seen, and they want to go down that path because they're like, well, I'm kind of curious about that. Like, what is that about? And what is she thinking? Like, what's in her mind, the thought process behind that outfit?
Mm-hmm.
And I just, really said that, I don't know, I was attracted to it.
Yeah.
And I just started putting it together. I said, it's like a song. It's like a chord. Like, this may be a chord. The pearls are a chord. And I just keep layering it until at the end I feel like I'm in harmony with my creation.
Yeah. And that
And
is a
that's kinda
part of your
strange.
creation.
Yeah.
That gets your creative juices flowing in the
Yeah.
morning,
Mhm.
so that the rest of the day it's like you're already in
Yeah.
that creative flow.
I am.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
I love that.
And then, so I wore ties for a couple of days, and then I didn't wear a tie. And everybody at work was like,
What
"Hey, Ty,
happened?"
Where's your tie
Yeah.
today?" And I'm like, you can't wear a tie every day. I mean, because your other layering could be a vest with, chunky jewelry,
Mhm.
or maybe you're doing something different with your hair.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times we wear our hair the same way every day.
Yeah.
You know what I
Who
mean?
wants to do that?
So
though?
trying a different.
That's one thing about
thing.
both of us. We can do curly or straight.
straight.
I love being able to do different
Yeah.
things and not just have the same hairstyle every day. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I also think, like with the clothing, you could actually go into your closet right now, probably, because we all have stuff that we haven't even worn, probably still has the tags
Yep,
on it.
yep.
That if you took that one piece out and just started building from there, that's what I usually do. I'll either, if there's a pair of shoes that I want to wear, then I'll start with the shoes and then work that way. But a lot of times if I'm starting to put pieces together and it feels like a discord, then I just start. I don't do that one anymore, and I just start fresh.
Start over,
I
yeah.
start over because I find that sometimes in the mornings, you may have laid some clothes out, and then you get up and you feel a different way.
Mhm.
So I just try to do my creation, from in the morning.
Yeah.
But I usually kind of have an idea of
Maybe a piece that
a
you start
piece
with.
or a color combination.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe I want to wear a zebra print, and I need green in there someplace.
Yeah.
So where does the green come in? It could come in the hose, actually.
Oh.
You
Yeah.
could wear some green hose.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying. Or you could have the green could be in the shoes and the purse and the
Mhm,
bag.
mhm.
So, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to it. There's no rules. There's definitely no rules. This is where you just get to, it's art.
Yeah.
This is art you get to create. It's a blank canvas every morning. I'm going to have to take a picture of the outfit because I will not recreate it.
Yeah.
It's the truth,
Because
though.
it'll be different pieces.
It's different pieces.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know the outfits is because I've been posting them.
Yes.
And so I can go back and go.
It's kind of like your journal of.
It is my
yeah.
journal. Like, what did I put on? What did I wear? Because a lot of times somebody goes, when you wore that such and such outfit, I just
Like,
loved
what?
it. And I was thinking, like
What
the
did I
other
wear?
day, the lady goes, you had on those blue shorts and a vest and your husband's tie. And I go,
When was that?
Exactly. So I had to go back through my pictures to look and see what outfit
What she was talking about.
Because
That's so
I
funny.
try not to recreate the same thing.
Yeah.
So you can take your same clothes and mix them in such a way that it looks like you always have new clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
Or you can go to the thrift store too, because that's where I got my ties.
Okay, tell us about, I want you to tell a little bit about when you went to a secondhand store
Okay.
and you had been thinking about New York.
Yes.
What happened in the thrift store? I love this story.
Okay. Yes. This is very interesting because this never happens like this.
And I want to preface it too with something that you have always taught me is to, when you put your ask out there, you have to start looking for the answers. You know, I think
the
sometimes
synchronicities.
the synchronicities is
Yes,
what you call
for the
it.
confirmations. Yes.
Sometimes we think that they're going to look a specific way.
Yes.
And so sometimes we get disappointed because we think, "Ugh, no, my, prayers didn't get answered, my ask didn't get answered, that kind of thing. But you're like, no, you got to pay attention to the little things. Sometimes they're
Yes.
not exactly what they look like, but they're synchronicities.
They are. And so my path, this New York thing that, we've been talking about, I go into the thrift store, I picked up a couple things, and I'm trying to check out, and I'm standing behind this lady because there's this counter, and it's glass. I see something shiny because I like something shiny. And I'm like, what is that? As I get closer and closer, I see it says New York. And I was like, it's a pen. It's got to be a pen, right? So I go around there to pay, and so I say, hey, can you get me that pen that's in there? And she goes,
It's like
which
a brooch
one?
pin.
She goes, the New York one. So she brings it out, and it says New York. And it's the Statue of Liberty.
Is it like I Love New York or something
like that?
or-
And it's in like red and blue
Okay.
and white are the colors, like the little rhinestones on it. And she goes, well, it doesn't have the back on it. So I go, that's okay, because how you have those name tags, those old ones, and you had the magnetic
Yes.
things.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I put that on there. I'm like, there it goes. And so that was a synchronicity that I was on the right track. So you have to look at the synchronicities as confirmation that, oh yes, I'm on the right track because this, and this happened.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And it's, I think part of it too, and I might butcher this, but Joe Dispenza talks about your reticular activator system or something like that that's in the front of
activator.
your brain.
Yeah.
Is, once she had that ask out there, it was like her mind, everything was, the universe is looking to fulfill that.
Yeah.
And so she starts seeing things that are, it's almost like the breadcrumbs.
It is. Because a couple of weeks later, if you remember, I
Yes.
found this New York t-shirt.
Yes.
It says, I love New York. It's black and it's got white, I think a white heart, and it says, I don't know, it says, I love New York. Because I got that so I can wear that when I go to New York.
Yep.
So all those little breadcrumbs.
And you took you got out your luggage,
I did.
and actually you went and bought new luggage.
I bought new luggage.
New
the trip.
energy.
I did.
All that good stuff.
New energy.
Put your
Journal in it.
journal that's got all of your stuff about New York, because
Yep.
there are intentions that you're wanting to take to New York, not just a trip to New York,
Yeah.
but it's about
The journey.
the journey there, and getting prepared, doing your part
Yes.
to get prepared so that
Yes.
when that day comes and it's like, hey, you ready to go to New York? You're like, yep, I'm already packed. Let's
Got
go.
and I have certain things already packed in there that I would take to New York.
Yeah.
So, yes.
And your outfits would fit right in. I mean, like,
Yes. Oh, I've already been studying, for summertime, what are the outfits in New York, what's hot, and flip-flops are in. I'm not really a flip-flop person, so I don't know about that, but of all things, flip-flops. And they have different other things that are in the trend right now, but that's me staying on top of it. So you're prepared, so it's not like you go, oh, I want to go to New York, and then that's it.
Right.
You don't ever
yes.
say anything, do anything. I mean, I'm always writing. Like, typically in the day, I'm going to, whether I post it or I don't post it, I'm talking about New York.
Yeah.
Like, doing a little, what are the three projects that you would take to New York if you got off the plane?
I remember you had that and you came and laid it on my desk one day. I was like,
Boom.
oh, okay, yeah. And so I was like this and this and this. And then we got in front of the camera and filmed
Us talking about it.
about
Well,
it.
we filmed as if we had just gotten off the plane. And that was May 21st.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
But I listen to it like in the morning when I'm getting ready because I love that. I mean, I mean, if somebody asks, what are the first 3 things, if you were living in New York, the first 3 projects you would do? I know.
yes.
I don't have to think about it.
Right.
Jinx on you.
Ah.
Because we both have done that. And
Mhm.
so
And it's the same thing we did with like the Telly Award.
we did the same thing with the Telly Award, yes.
So we filmed us doing the acceptance speech. We knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that that Telly Award was
Yep.
ours. And we went on ahead 2 weeks prior to them announcing the winners,
Yeah.
and we accepted our award. And 2 weeks later, we got the
We
award.
did. And I mean, like we dressed up in gold dresses and we had our fake
speeches?
awards
Because
we
we
didn't
were
have
ready.
an award, but we were ready, so we
We were
had
ready.
that. I gave my acceptance speech. We recorded it. She gave hers. We took pictures as if we were at some gala, you know.
Yep.
And then we went next door and had dinner.
Had
and celebrated.
champagne and celebrated. And
We celebrated that we had won, and then we just went on about our stuff. And then in the 2
2
weeks,
weeks,
we won.
we won.
I mean, but that's kind of how it is. We embodied it.
Mm-hmm.
We acted as if it had already happened. So the universe takes that and goes, "Oh, well, they already know."
Yeah.
So there's no, they didn't doubt. No, they did their
So the
acceptance
universe
speech and
just
everything.
made it happen, wrapped it
It
around
does.
us.
It works
you know?
around. It shifts and starts moving things. It's like a puzzle. And as soon as you get into that alignment and that knowing, it shifts things. And then you know from the synchronicities. That's what I talk about, the synchronicities. You've got to pay attention to those little small things. Otherwise, you get discouraged. But if you go, oh, well, this happened today, and this happened today, and this happened today. And I mean, like, I needed to go get the star on my
driver's
license because I had not done the other thing yet. So I went to do that because you cannot, I don't
Travel.
think, get on a plane
You're not going to be able to even travel within the United States
without
without
having
it.
that.
Yes.
And that was a process. Let me just explain.
because you love to
something
travel, so
You. Yeah.
you
So
need
I
to be
knew-
able to be free to do that.
Right. So I'm telling the universe I'm ready
Yes.
here because I went and I'm
Got
doing
my
all of these
credentials.
things, and so when the opportunity comes, I'm ready,
Ready.
to go.
I love that.
And you have to love that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I love, gosh, I can't think of his name now. There was a preacher that said, well, even Teresa Belfoy talks about that, you know, when you're ready, get ready. I think
Yeah.
she said the Lord told her one day that she was like, you know, when you're ready, get ready.
Yeah.
You can't be preparing for it. You got to be ready so that when the phone call comes, the opportunity comes, you're packed.
It's just
Yeah, you're like, you just walk right into it because it's natural because you've prepared for it. Just
Yeah.
like this podcast.
yeah.
You
It's
know?
like, what's that song? I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be. Anyway. No, but I mean, and a lot of times at night, like I'll sit out on my porch and I can, we're way up high,
Yeah.
so I can see the planes, and I just imagine myself
On that
flying, traveling around the world, and
With
it's
champagne
made
in one
me.
hand.
It really has made me happier. Like to have, I have these little assignments that I do every day that are in line with what I want to do. So it's like me claiming things or doing a monologue about New York, or
Yeah.
just like we did about the 3 projects. Because if you're going to be prepared, if somebody asks you, if you're in New York and somebody on the sidewalk, you know, says, "Hey, you know, I got an opportunity for you. What are 3 projects that you would bring to me if I said I could give you an opportunity?"
Yeah, what if that was a producer or director or,
What if?
you know, is saying, you know, hey, we're starting this here. Can you do this? Absolutely.
Because of
Let me show you my credentials.
If you weren't prepared, you go,
I don't
geez.
know. Let me think about. Let me get back to
Do
you.
can I get your phone number? No, it's the elevator
into
speech.
it.
It's like you go, oh, I know.
Ready.
Oh, I'll tell you, here's number 1, number 2, and number 3. And I can think of a 4th one if you want me to.
I love that.
Yeah.
So be ready, like you said on our last episode. Just do it.
just do it. So get in alignment. Figure out what you want to do. Figure out your goal. If you don't know, then you need to start searching. Like, okay, go category 1. Do I want to travel? Yes or no? No traveling. Okay. You know what I mean? And if you kind of take that education, do I need to get educated before I can do what I want to do? The answer is probably no. You can probably still step out there and do it, and then you'll educate yourself. In the process of learning, sink or swim.
Yep. So
Just do it.
just do it. So I guess that brings us to the end of our episode
This is the end of our
today.
episode today. So do you want to tell them about all of our links and...
Yes. So please come follow us on Instagram at Quantum Creators Institute. You can DM us there. We are still doing the one-on-one sessions. So if you would like to sign up to do a one-on-one with Kimberly and myself, then just DM us there. You can watch the episodes on YouTube. You can watch it under Quantum Creators Institute. You can watch it on Kelly Lane. You can watch it on Kimberly Bauman's YouTube. And
we're on Instagram and TikTok.
And TikTok, you can find Kimberly doing a lot of her frequency dressing there. So if you want to check out what she was talking about earlier with her different outfits and all that kind of stuff, and her kind of giving you hints and stuff of where she got the ideas, what she's doing with them, that kind of thing, you can go to TikTok and find her there. And I think you post on Instagram as well, the frequency dressing?
I do. And it's usually under mine and Quantum Creators, because it is part of Quantum Creators, because this is how
it all goes together.
So
yep, absolutely. So please, contact us to schedule that one-on-one, and otherwise we'll see you on the next
We'll see you on the next one, because remember, we believe that you are the director of your reality, so why not make it a masterpiece?